Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys could please like this video, leave a comment, and click subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps me out. I just wanted to do a little recap after the installation on a 2012 Nissan Maxima. Now, we installed a front lip, side skirts, and rear lip and diffuser on this car from STILLEN. I'll leave the part numbers and the links in the description. Everything fit really well. Really happy with the fitment of this kit. It was a customer supplied kit. Now, we didn't spray the kit. We just put it on raw plastic. It is a black car, so I think that's why the customer just figured he'd just put it on raw plastic. I did quote him for paint. He said he'd come back later for paint. So I do suggest pre-fitting this kit before paint. It fit really good, but I did have to heat up some spots, so I do recommend possibly fitting the kit, then removing the kit, and then painting it, and then permanently install the kit. So do a dry fit first. Anyways, we have from STILLEN, this will fit the 2009 plus, so I believe it's 2009 to 2014 Nissan Maximas. We got the front lip spoiler, part number. I'll leave this in the description with links. STILLEN rear diffuser, and the STILLEN rocker panels. So the instructions are very, very detailed. Kind of gives you like pre-painting instruction, painting instructions. It shows you how to remove the factory rocker panels. I mean, it shows really good pictures, and I think you can view more at stillen.com. The pictures are extremely good if you're not very experienced. Now, we are a professional shop and I specialize in this type of stuff. It still took me about 3 hours total to install this kit. So if you're a beginner, please allow yourself probably over 3 hours. I actually thought I was gonna get it done in 2, and it just took a little bit longer, guys. So please allow yourself 3 hours or more to install this kit. It's not that it's difficult, it's just you gotta really focus on making sure that you have clean adhesion and the part's clean, dry, and I applied a little bit of heat since it is winter here right now. So anyways, I'm gonna do a little walk around. First of all, on the rear, these have to come off. These are mounted down here, so you actually replace this with the new one. So we remove left and right. Also, underneath the rear of the car, underneath the factory rocker panel, there's like a little mud flap type thing. That can no longer be used unless you modify it. So we just removed it. It's just a couple bolts. So a couple bolts and a couple clips in there. The factory side skirts completely come off. That doesn't take very long. Now I'm gonna start with these side skirts. Now the side skirts, as far as fitment, fit really good. Now the original side skirts utilize some clips on the inside of the door jamb, right here. The aftermarket STILLEN side skirts use 3M double-sided tape right there along the whole inside. So you gotta clean the surface, and then they include some 3M adhesion promoter that you want to apply there. Now you can buy more adhesion promoter from different companies or 3M if you need, but they do supply with each part a little tube of 3M adhesion promoter to install these parts. Now, you definitely want to make sure it's clean after removing the panel and do a dry fit. And then the instructions are very detailed, so just follow the instructions. And I use some blocks to prop up this rocker panel to get it level as I can, to get this gap as level as possible. And overall, all the holes lined up about 99%. And I just kind of had to use a little screwdriver to kind of find the hole and kind of center it. And I did have to change out some of the clips. Some of the clips fit, and some of the clips I had to replace with some tree retainers. So back here, I was able to utilize the factory screws and screw holes, as well as the front screw. So there's 2 in the back, 1 in the front, and then there's several tree retainer fasteners underneath the car. And then after that, you open the door and you pull your 3M tape and you push, and I actually applied some heat as well to make sure that stays. Now, it is fall and winter here, and I do recommend you don't get this vehicle wet. As you can see, my vehicle is wet. I made sure it was dry completely before starting the job. We did have to pull it outside and move some cars around, so this vehicle is wet. I don't recommend getting the vehicle wet for at least 24 to 48 hours after install, but we are very confident that we used enough heat and made sure that the 3M tape was adhered properly. Now this kit fits really good. You can see the front balance. I mean, you can see a little tiny gap on the front there, but you can see it's very tight. So very, very happy. They include a couple screws for each side that you just run through, self-tapping screws. There's 3M tape there, 3M tape in the center of the grill. And I used a little bit of tape to make sure when I did my dry fit, I laid some masking tape there. That way when I pulled my tape, I knew, my double-sided tape, I knew where it was gonna line back up. So, of course, if you have another hand, it does go on a lot easier if you have a second hand. I did it by myself, but it was definitely doable. So the front lip, very clean, leaves kind of an OE look. Lowers the car just a little bit naturally. Now with another set of wheels and maybe some lowering springs would really set this car off. So here's the other rocker panel. You can see the one screw. Our fitment, our body line continues even in there. Looks very, very good, guys. You can see our reveals fairly even. Gives you a nice little aggressive cooling hole, I guess you could call it. And a couple screws right there. Now the rear valance is nice and tight as well. I utilized factory screw holes here. And I sunk one screw there. And the rest is double-sided tape. Now, from shipping, these did flatten out, so I used a lot of heat to kind of form these before I did my dry fit. And then I mocked them up by taping, using masking tape to tape up the panel. And then the rear diffuser as well. Double-sided tape. I sunk one screw there, and I used some of my own fasteners that I had to sink 4 screws nice and evenly through each fin. You can see it kind of lines up, it leaves just a little gap. Same thing, one screw there, one screw there. Now these back pieces were probably the worst fitting out of the whole kit, but they do fit. I just had to take a heat gun, use a blow dryer, hot sunny day, and just kind of manipulate the panels to kind of get a nice dry fit as good as I could before I actually taped them up there and permanently installed them. So with the screws, they'll hold in place, and the double back tape, just make sure you use that, make sure the surface is clean, and make sure you use adhesion promoter. It's very important with double-sided tape. So these panels will probably break off before they ever fall off. So if this customer ever comes back and wants to paint it in the future, we can do so. It can be removed, but we'll have a lot of cleanup with like an eraser wheel, a heat gun, a little scraper to do on the surface of the car, as well as the back sides of the panels. All the tape will have to be replaced. The 3M double-sided tape you can get at your local auto parts store. I do recommend dry fitting this kit prior to painting, then installing. So, but this kit should have been painted before. We didn't do so because the car is black and the customer, that's what the customer desired. So we left it the plastic. Later on, we can paint it on or off the car. It's up to him if he wants to pay us for the extra labor that it's gonna take to clean off the tape and apply new tape and then paint the parts and then reinstall. You can, otherwise we could probably do a pretty good job leaving the kit on the car and just spraying on the car. So Stillen does give you painting instructions. Follow the instructions in there, and you can't screw this up, guys. Very, very satisfied. I'd give them a 9.9 out of 10. Honestly, the fitment is almost OE quality, and the durability of the urethane is very forgiving compared to a fiberglass kit. So you get what you pay for, guys. Looks really, really good. Just do a little bit of a walk around. The rockers do lower the car a little bit. Same thing with the front lip and the rear balance. Kind of gives it a lower look without even being lowered. Very sporty, very clean, and kind of set your car off from the others. So, if you guys could please like this video, comment. I'll answer every single comment as best I can. I'll leave all the part numbers and links in the description. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Like LeBron though, or like Bonzo. Ooh, I'm a baller, yeah, shot caller, yeah. They love me, you can't touch me, nah, can't trust me. I'm too lucky.